Hey guys, it's Jimmy here and welcome back to another video. Today we're in iRacing to try out the new Porsche 911 Cup car. Now the other day I put out a video in AMS where I had to go with their Boxer Cup, which is essentially the same thing but just not licensed of course. And I've heard good things about this iRacing Cup car, so I thought I'd take the plunge, spend the £10 or whatever super money it is to buy the car now and see if it's worth the time of day. I'm doing a Suzuka race here. It's in the sort of the fun week 13 stuff I think it is, so it's not really a super serious race, but little did I know I've got JP in here from Grip TV, I've got Mike Mason, we've got Tubbsy, got Pablo Lopez in here as well, so I've got quite a few recognisable names in this race, so it's going to be pretty fun. I'm going to be starting from the back because I'm not really sure of my own ability in this car yet. I've put in a bit of practice. I'm not too quick, but like I said in the Boxer video, I'm not too good in tin tops. I prefer aero, but yeah, I think it'll be a good race anyway. I'm going to try and give you my opinions as we go around, so that plus a good race, what can go wrong? So then, goal for this race is to stay out of trouble and try and catch Tubbsy, because he actually qualified, so he's sort of mid-pack, a bit further up the field than I am, so I'm going to try and catch him by the end of the race. I seem to be sort of similar pace to him, so hopefully I can maybe reel him in as the laps go by. Obviously starting at the back of the grid does present its own challenges, so T1's going to be a bit of a clusterfuck probably, but I'm going to do my best to avoid it. Here come the lights. Put it in first gear. The revs up, clutches in. There we go, and oh, bogged hard. Have to go over the clutch again. Going to go right down the extreme inside. See if we can take some places there, of course. Being on the extreme inside does mean stuff like that happens. Fuck me, dude. That was scary. Somehow managed to keep that alive and not end up going to someone around me there. Right and left of me had good reactions to avoid that. So through T1 in one piece. You can see the leaders a bit further off. There's a car goes flying off to the side for the first S. Going to watch him rejoining. That could be a bit dodgy. There you go. Cars going off left, right and centre. Just trying to make sure I don't get caught up in that. So what happens in these more casual races and iRacing, people sort of throw caution to the wind and you end up having what is essentially the most comical first lap of all time, as someone's very slow going up here. But there you go. Through there, one piece, car slow on the inside, going to go to the outside there. There you go. Just calming down there. There's no point in me going fast through here because there's nowhere for me to go. Just got to just stay, keep the car in one piece and then pick my chances and my time is to overtake carefully. So we went down to the hairpin here. Well, I'm not quite sure when these guys are going to brake. I'm trying not to sort of drive behind them because a lot of people are braking a lot earlier than I think they would. Not much really to do here but to wait. So he's been cut inside this other car. No, he's still there. They're running on the outside of the corner there. And you actually have to lift a little bit coming around here in this car. Lift about here so you can be on the right side of the circuit. There you go. Usually we see people have a bit of trouble at spoon. Not this time. Go in front a little bit loose. Gonna poke my nose up the inside. He left the door open, so I'll take that. Thank you very much. There we go. That's our first actual overtake without being involved in some sort of punt. I am running the baseline setup here, so I'm not sure how I'm actually going to fare in terms of downforce. Guy behind me has a good run already. Don't go up the inside here, dude. He's not going to. 130R goes well. Not. Big lift there to try and get off track. Car round at the chicane as I get heavy on the brakes there to slow the car down myself. Not a bad first lap there, so we've got the relative on the right. We were 20 seconds at the start. Let's see where we are now as my wheel is very loose already. There you go. 10 places in one lap, pretty much. The guy looking up the inside decides better of it as I block the tyres big time going into T1. My mistake there, just got on the brakes too heavy. Some used to do that in this car. Brakes are not your friends. You have to sort of breathe on them. Don't do what I do and step on them. I don't see myself really braking any more than 60% a lot of the time in this car, but maybe that's something you can tune out, I don't know, but on the baseline it's pretty bad. Again, having to sort of just wait for the guys in front to do their thing. I feel like I am faster. That mistake, of course, is something that is going to hinder me now, because I have to now wait behind these guys. Easy for the first Degner. Inside. And third gear. Oh, bad turn in there. A bit of a stutter as well, the frame rate. Don't know if you guys noticed that in the recording. You don't really go full throttle into here because the car wants to wiggle a bit The 11 car goes a bit wide there. Had to wait on my exit to sort of allow him to get away. Now again, a little bit of a lift through here because the car will understeer out otherwise. We're going to be on the right hand side of the circuit going to the first part of Spoon. The second part. The last time I drove a car around here was a front wheel drive P1, so obviously my lines are having to differ a little bit around here. And this is actually my first iRacing race in a long time, so sort of getting back used to the handling model again on the fly here. And the fact that I'm doing that, I think, pretty well so far. I've not had any big incidents apart from that lock up into T1. I think that's a testament to this car. A lot of hype about this car from what I've heard. And living up to it so far, I get a little bit loose out there. Can't quite stamp on the throttle coming out of the last corner. Yeah, I think people are running a little bit lower downforce than I am, it seems. No matter. Still good, still on the fight. Bit long race, this is 30 minutes. Again, just getting on those brakes heavy on the way in. I've got to try and remember to breathe on them and not stamp them, because once you lock them, they're very hard to unlock whilst actually slowing down for the corner. You see just left of the HUD there, those 4 lights on the left hand side of the dash. They tell you when you are locking your tyres, which is very handy to know, although I tend to feel it before I see it. Which again is a testament to this car being pretty decent. Just sort of not quite fast enough to get onto the back of these guys now at the moment. I need to get back into my groove. I was doing alright in practice, not so much now. Off gear for the first Egner, a bit more aggressive this time. And then third gear here. Let's try and make sure I don't lock the brakes. I'm sure lots of you out there telling me that I'm not driving this particularly well at the moment. Again, I want to just really hammer home the point that this is my first iRacing race for a long time. Car round. There you go. Good to sort of be cautious there. It's going to come on right at a difficult point. It's going to hold these guys up, that's for sure. Not a great rejoin by the car ahead, but hey ho. Car way off to the right there, they're dead. Another car as well there. Some dead going on. Nice run out of a second part of Spoon. They're going to pull right to left hand side of the circuit in case he spins. Okay, position gain there. Now we can sort of focus on looking forward again. Haven't seen any of the Grip TV guys yet. I know Papa Lopez to be right at the front of this field, so I don't expect to see him. Curb there just pulling me out a little bit. Now, I can't take that curb on the inside there, that right one, the way I want to, because apparently it's a cut despite the fact you have one wheel over the white line. So a bit of a weird anti-cut there, or a cut track that I don't really agree with, but that top 10, nice, moving up nicely. Now let's try and get T1 right. There you go, that's better. A little bit softer on the way in. Car responds, actually responds a lot to sort of being driven smoothly. You can have a little bit of a slide at the rear with this without it killing you, which is good. It's progress, of course. iRacing a little bit infamous for its tyre model, especially when you get heat into them. It just becomes a icy mess. But this car doesn't seem to suffer from that at the moment, anyway. Of course, you're seeing my first race in this car. I've done about, I don't know, 20 minutes of practice beforehand to make sure I can just be safe on the road. I need to try and find some rhythm, because at the moment I'm not quite fast enough to keep the guys in front, which is frustrating. I like to have the race. Get right there, a little bit of a wiggle at the rear, but it's controllable. And that's something that I would, in comparison to the AMS car. So the AMS car feels a little bit more controllable when you go over the limit. A bit more forgiving. I feel this car, if you get it into a slide, like a bad slide, not a little slide, then you aren't really coming back from it so far. Again, these are just early impressions. Look here. Really jabbing the throttle there, just understeering the way, and then you get on the throttle, car and starts to rotate a bit. There you go. Don't let it rotate too much though, otherwise scary things happen. Just try and get to the back of these guys in front. Not sure that's going to be possible. Let's get it in. Nice, car responding a bit now, but then again there's that understeer on the throttle. Big lock up from someone in front. I'm trying to avoid doing that because tyres. Ooh, bouncing a bit on the curb there. That affects my exit. Guys in front having a little bit of a fight, not enough to slow them up unfortunately. Gonna end up I think in no man's land if I don't improve my times a bit. There's someone going very wide at T1. So easy to do in this car, so easy to lock the brakes on the way in because you're putting a lot of load on the front left on the way into the first corner. Maybe I need to start manhandling the car a bit more. I'm being a bit too smooth I think, a little bit too cautious with it. Dragging the front tyres. That's Pablo Lopez out, so that's another position for me. So there it is. Heard it here, folks. Did me better than Pablo Lopez. Confirmed. I'm so used to driving a car with downforce around it. It's so weird starting to understeer, getting up to speed around there. I'd love to make this a four-way fight if I can just get into it, or even a five-way. There you go, that's what I'm talking about. Those little slides, they feel natural in this car, which is nice. Obviously you don't want to overdo it because you are going to overheat those rear tyres pretty quickly. There you go, a little bit iffy into there. Car really does not respond well to turning and braking at the same time. Some cars you can sort of get away with it, this car is not one of those. A little lift there just to make sure I stay on the right part of the circuit. Well, people seem to be getting the spoon wrong. These, again, the braking and turning nature of that corner just catches people out. Although I'm not really actually gaining any time on them, despite the mistakes they're making. I'm not quite sure what that says about my own pace. It's not good. I think my only problem with this car is that it costs £10. £10 is a lot of money, you know, especially in the UK because of iRacing's new pricing system where they now do not include VAT in their prices, they then add it on afterwards, so same price but then a 20% more price for us in the UK anyway, and of course the rate of the pound is pretty awful as well at the moment, so it all adds up and it means that you're paying quite a bit more for the content you had before. 9th place now, nice and easy T1, managing to stay in touch. I'm not completely out of touch with these guys and they are squabbling a bit, which is making it easy for me to sort of close in. I would love to get involved in this sort of friendly outing. I don't know if Tubbsy survived or not. I'm not sure if he went out. I didn't see his name on the relative, or he might be part of this battle. I'm not sure. Okay, nice through there. Again, used to having a bit of downforce at this point. The car's still a little bit iffy until you get over the crest, and then you're fine. Here, tap the curb. Same here. Got a nice nerve. They use a runoff there, which you can do, which is nice. Oh, pull slow. Oh, someone's been punted. That's one person down. Another place for me. I assume they were punted. They might have just have had the braking issue you can have there when braking for that corner. Still in it, lads. It's been nice and smooth through there. There's no need to really burn the rear tyres, trying to drag, or the front tyres, sorry, dragging them along the circuit where you can just get off the throttle a little bit. Doesn't really lose you much time. Out of there as well, you can feel the rear tyres just starting to come loose, but it's at like almost at the point of it being slip angle, where you can just afford to get the car just that tiny bit sideways just to speed you up out the corner. And on the grass, I don't be doing that. Big lift there, again, my mistake. I don't bother about off tracks in this race too much. More about actually having a good race, which I seem to be having right now. It's not going too bad. Again, it's a place where you want to get on the throttle just a little bit later. If you smash the throttle out of that last chicane, you end up having, well, a horrible time. Oh, someone else dead. That's another position for us, I guess. Oh no, we've all gone wide. We've all gone wide. I didn't want to not fit in with the guys in front, so I followed them off. Again, you start getting a bit too confident in the brakes in this car, and the brakes aren't the best. No ABS in this thing, so you can't just smash the brakes and the car slows you down. You've got to really be cautious on it. Apparently there are two versions of this car, one with ABS and one without, from what I've heard. But I guess this is a cool thing that we haven't got ABS. It does actually add an element of challenge. This car, I think, is actually quite user-friendly for those people who are trying to get into maybe moving from, you know, something like, I don't know, the Mazda or something in iRacing. I'm not quite sure what lower tier racing they have nowadays, but into this. Oh, again, guy into the wall hard there on the right. That might be someone else lost from my little train. And then there were three. I'm just minding my own business back here. I think Tubbsy might have been killed because I can't see him on the relative anywhere. Let's just be better in the braking, and I think I will catch these guys back up again. And taking my Nissan line through there, which is bad. You have a very tight apex, and then just let the car sort of float out. It seems to be working okay in this car, so I guess no complaints there. I do like the sound of this car, something they've captured very well, iRacing. iRacing are very hit and miss with sounds, in my opinion. This is right on the money, especially the just gearbox whine. It's pretty great. And of course, the flexible transmission model they have in iRacing, making it sound that little bit more believable. Just wish that I can get on with it a bit better. Now with that complete, I can see JP in the distance. Has he had a mistake or something? Up to 6th place now, so doing alright actually. It's going okay for us. For our first race out. We haven't had any death yet. I don't think we punted anyone. If I have, I've repressed it from memory. Hoping there isn't a pit stop in this race, because I haven't really thought about that at all. Come on, Jimmy. You need to... See, I'm just not quite on their speed, you know. Like, the only reason they're staying with me is because they're sort of busy looking at each other, trying to get past each other, and I'm just sort of in the background waiting for them to make a mistake, which I guess is the best thing to do. My rear tyres there sliding, like in 4th gear. Be careful of that, because you don't want to overheat your tyres and then going to this part of the circuit where you really have to have that rear grip to push you out the corner nicely. Bit of a slide there from me. Could be an overtaking attempt here from the guys in front, or it could be death. Who knows? Oh, they're still going. Which forces him wide, which means he'll lose time, which means I gain time. Yeah, JP just accelerating away now. I think he must have had a mini spin or something. Wish I understood sort of GT cars or cup cars a bit better. I'm just not as fast in this sort of things as I would be as something with aero. Aero's so much easier. Just go fast and don't slow down for the corners pretty much and you're fine. This thing, it's all about finding that edge of the mechanical grip. Craig Williams, he was ahead of us. I don't know if he spun as well, so that'll be another place. Ah, yeah, wide again. Not quite sure why that's an off track, to be honest. Again, you've got one wheel on the inside of the white line, but maybe different rules in iRacing. I haven't read the sporting code for a while. Oh geez, that's bad. Just forgot to hit the curb there on the inside, which is what you really need to do. Another lap down. Yeah, there you go, I'm in 5th place. Jesus Christ. It's not going well for everyone today, is it? First race back in iRacing for however long and somehow in 5th. Everyone else has just fallen off, and I'm not really sure how. This car, like I said, is, I'll reiterate the point, it is very user-friendly. I mean, I got in this car pretty much and drove a lap, and within 3 or 4 laps, you know, I was doing sort of okay pace. It's just about understanding the understeer and how it transfers when you get onto the throttle to oversteer. Losing time for the S's now. Reminds me of VEC all over again. Just being slow everywhere in the corners and then having fast straight line speed. Except I don't really have any straight line speed in this car either, so basically I suck everywhere. Just getting the excuses out, guys. Just getting the excuses out so you know about them. That nice into the apex there, nice. That's something I like as well. You can really get on the throttle early in this car. There's none of that annoying spin. Tight corners in iRacing have always been my enemy, but they feel very good in this car. and someone wide at Spoon. They just don't seem to lose much time doing that. I mean, they'll still come on ahead of me, and they'll probably have a good run up here, so then I'll just lose time again. It's weird, really. I just set the moral high ground, but I haven't really spun as much. Guy behind me is pretty fast as well. I don't know if he's going to catch me for the end of the race, but if he does, then we'll deal with that when he gets here. That was better this time. I was not actually getting enough track. Although this car, again, like most cars in iRacing now, has gear protection, which I really hate in cars, to be honest. Wish there was a way to disable it. If I'm going to blow up the engine, let me do it. Come on, Jimmy. We can catch these guys. You've got to believe. Believe in Christmas. Well, I don't think I can, to be honest. I'm just very slow into there. I'm taking such a Nissan line. That is such a Nissan line, Jimmy. They're not in a Nissan. It's so different from a Nissan, Jimmy. You want to get in between third and fourth through here, really. Come on, grip, grip, grip. See, that's the danger there. Start getting that understeer at a bad point. Get understeer there, it's pretty much game over. Guys in front now starting to pull away. Looks like some of the guys who fell off are actually holding them up. Also, my driving isn't fantastic. Well, I seem to be sort of staying in the 206s, which is nice. Big lock all the way in there again. Very easy to do when you're sort of turning and braking the car at the same time. Going side by side. Hit each other, goddammit. Give me that podium. That's a weird line through there, Jimmy. Again, someone wide at Spoon. He's doing it every lap, and it doesn't even matter. That's that much faster than me. Need to really get into the mindset. I'm struggling to get into the mindset. Oh, that's a very weird one. Looks like he just hit the wall there on the left. That's fourth place for us. That's very strange. Oh, what he was doing, maybe he's got dragged onto the grass or something. That's fourth place. I'm really being a little bit cautious now on the brakes. I'm not really doing what I was doing at the start of the race, pushing the car. Guy in front now is on his own, so he hasn't got to worry about anything. That's a 207, bit of a slow lap there for me, so he's probably going to pull away quite quickly now. He's got no one to worry about. This gear, easy. It's a bit better there, using a bit more of the corner, a bit more of the road. This is where I miss having the downforce. Being in the high gear means the car is turning a bit better at the rear, which is good for us. There you go again, just have to wait till you're over the crest before the car's settled, then you can sort of really get on the full throttle there. That's not right, but we're somehow through there. A lot of understeer initially in this car. That's a big cut on the inside, don't want to be doing that too often. You start turning in, almost accounting for the understeer you're getting, and then you'll find yourself not understeering. You do silly things like that and take a very tight line. Oh no, this car's, it's okay, it's pretty good, this car, you know, it's a good iRacing car. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of iRacing, that's no secret. I've already mentioned the price being a little bit too much for me, but I did want to give it a go because of the good things I heard about it. But it's it'll be good for iRacing. It'll be good to have a sort of single make series that isn't basically a rough road car or road car interior. You know, got a proper Porsche, proper sounds, proper setups. There isn't really much setup options in this car. Only a couple of things you can tweak, but and it would be a good ladder from someone to go from perhaps, I don't know, a Mazda or do they still have the Mustang in this? They still race that, the Mustang. And then sort of to go to something a little bit more advanced, this thing would be good to have. So I think it's a really nice addition to the iRacing library. Oh dear, here comes Danny coming out of the pits. I was afraid we were going to see like a purposeful wreck there. Maybe she's coming out again to race his friend. I didn't actually see their incident. I don't think it was malicious. I think he just made a mistake and hit the wall on the inside. Nice. Nah, not nice. Again, this is where I start struggling. I think my own sort of skill runs out on these cars very quickly, and they start accumulating wear, and they start handling a bit differently. I mean, I can cope with it in aero cars. I can't really in these tin tops. Locking up all the way in there. I'm missing my apex completely. But this is where I would like a little bit more feedback from the car in terms of force feedback. I shouldn't... you do sort of know when you're locking up into a corner, but only because... I don't know, you don't turn basically. You find yourself not turning, and that's how you know you're locking up. Maybe I need to adjust something in the force feedback for that, but that's my own opinion, you know. I don't want to... When I'm locking the brakes, I can see it visually in the smoke behind me. I can see it visually on the LEDs on the left there. And sometimes I do feel something in the wheel, but not always. So it's something you have to sort of gauge as you go around. And these guys are fighting now, so maybe they wanted to have a fight as someone looks like they've just cut the chicane. Look at the chicane there. I think someone is. Yeah, look at them. I hope they're friends, because that would really annoy me if I was driving on my own and someone who crashed out then came back out to race me again despite being laps down. Let's try and do these S's better than last time. I'm going to go for third again because I'm liking the way the car handles it more on the rear tyres there, just sort of reaching the rev limiter, L4 for a little bar, and then back down to third. A bit of understeer there. There we go, sort of massaging throttle there. Rear end a little bit slippy, you might have seen that a little bit there, in the back of the car. Oh no, they haven't, have they? Let's come together. And there he goes! That is bad. But I'm in third! What is life? And JJ is the next car on the road. He must have had an issue. He's laps down now. Podium, boys! I feel pretty happy with that, considering that, again, I'll mention it again for more excuses, that this is my first race back in iRacing for a long time. Looks like 5th place, number 24 car, Matty, second name I cannot pronounce, is going pretty quickly. Don't think he's going to have enough time to catch me. This is a half an hour race, and I think we'll probably be, the next lap or so we'll be ending it off. Again, locking the tyres big time into the chicane, but who cares? No one around me to worry about. Just got to try and keep it at a good space now. Good pace. Doesn't matter if good space. A good pace. Doesn't matter if it's a couple of seconds of that slow. We can afford to lose it. Jesus Christ. How's that even happened? Oh. Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. That actually went really well in the end. That was unintentionally a good T1. Sometimes in racing it's just about being able to keep the car on the road. I guess this would be a good example of that. Definitely not the fastest guy on track. Probably not even the 6th or 7th fastest guy on the circuit right now. A lot of people DNF'd or got punted, etc. but fast enough to stay around if there is an instance of people, sort of stay within contention, and seemingly consistent enough to stay on the road for now, so happy enough with that. Oh Jesus. Still having to lift through here? Yep, still have to lift a little bit. I think if I had a better line through there and then get on that curb, I would have been able to probably not do that. Car's lightening up a little bit. Of course, I've put in far too much fuel for the race, but I wasn't aware of how much fuel we were going to need. Alberto is gaining slowly, but again, won't be enough for him to be here by the end of the race. I think this should be the last lap we're coming onto now. Should be. Of course, I'm doing maths on the fly here. My maths isn't usually good at the best of time. So, there you go, white flag. Unless we somehow lose 8 seconds to the guys behind, famous last words, we should end up with a podium in our Porker. I can actually call this a Porsche as well, like fear of rebuttal, which is nice. Looking at the tyres on the way in, like a boss. Wishing for aero on the way out. So I guess, guys, the burning question in your mind is it worth the money to buy this car? And unfortunately that's completely up to you. I think the car's good, I think it's a good car, etc. Whether it's worth the money they ask for it now, especially if, like me, if you're in England, money it has gone up recently for iRacing. That is completely on you. For me, for example, like I might get a couple of races in this, who knows? Maybe I'll do some more official series. This has been a pretty fun race despite not being too fast. I've never been that fast in iRacing, I've never been able to really figure it out. But it's a good car, and it's better than what we've seen from iRacing so far. You know, this is again good progression for iRacing. They're going in the right direction with handling, definitely. The only cons I would say again is under braking, a little bit lack of feel when that's happening. I don't really get a feeling of the brakes locking a lot of the time. It's just I can't turn. That's how I know, so I can't turn. The car isn't behaving how I expect it to. You sort of get the sound as well. But you don't really get the feel in the wheel too much. Again, for my wheel, T500 might be different for your wheel. I dare not smack talk iRacing because that always ends in one way. But this was a good race, it's a fun race, and I did alright. 22nd to 3rd. I'll take that any day of the week. Maybe we can wait out so we can pump Tubbsy. There we go, across the line, guys. So, as always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit subscribe to be notified of future videos. And there we are then, 3rd. Not a bad run at all. I am very happy with 3rd place. Now let's get in trouble, shall we? Where is he? Where is he? He's waiting. Where is he? Go on, Tubbsy, make it easy for me. Don't run from it. Let it happen. 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 Yeah! Oh yeah, most serious sim 2016. 2017, shit. Take care, guys. See you next time.